Hey guys, and welcome to the Weekend Rundown. This is your host, Daniel.
And I'm your host, Drew. Just want to say real quick, we've got about 30% more listeners, which is really, really awesome. We always appreciate new and old returning listeners. But if you like our show, guys, send me emails. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Share us with your friends. Anything you can do that really helps. Other than that, I was thinking maybe we could talk about our weekends before we go into our segments. What do you think about that, bro?
Yeah, man, that's fine. You want to kick it off and tell me about your weekend?
Yeah, I'll start with my weekend. Man, I pretty much just I worked a whole lot. I've been planning my Austin trip, you know. I've been trying to do the logistics of that. I've got my new set I'm working on for or not working on, it's finished. I'm practicing it. It's for my next show on Thursday. So
and you want to tell us about that show?
Yeah, it's at McCurdy's again. This time it's an open mic though, so it's not like the main room.
But you're for sure going on.
I'm for sure going on. I'm already signed up. Dude, the thing is that it takes like 6 weeks to maybe 7 or 8 weeks before they'll like let you on. Like I signed up like back when my other show was. Like, so when was that? Like 7 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was.
It's been a hot minute. Anyways, so my point here is that now that I'm finally going up, my very first joke like addresses the fact that it's the hardest stage to get on, you know?
McCurdy's?
Yeah. Like my very first joke. You want me to tell you my very first joke or no?
No.
Okay, I won't tell you then.
I like it better when I get the delivery and the environment.
All right, well, the very first joke has to deal with how hard it is to get on the McCurdy stage. That's all.
I feel like there's harder stages, though.
Yeah, no, it is, but like it'll be funny because it's there, and I'm talking about that place, and everyone sees me there every week, and I talk to people every week. I'm like, I'm a comedian, like, and they know, like, you know, like, so when I say that, they'll be like, oh yeah, no, like it has been a minute since we saw you up here, you know. Yeah. What else did I do? I worked extra because, like I said, I'm trying to have a little spending money for Austin.
Right.
I going there for business, but I still want to be able to eat. And
how long are you there for?
Only 4 days.
Okay. So we'll still be able to do this.
Yeah. We'll have to do this. We'll have to do this 1 day early, 2 days early. It'll be a Saturday night.
Okay.
Unless you want to do it at like 3 a.m. on the Sunday before you take me.
What day am I taking you?
Sunday, 6 a.m. My flight leaves at 6. We got to be there hella early, dog.
And what's the date?
The 17th of September.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have to remind me 6 more times.
I'm going to remind you every single time, and I'm also going to remind you the day before, and I might... No, I'm not sleep. I might sleep here the day before.
Go for it. I don't give a shit.
Well, because, like, it'd just be easier. My dog will be here, you know.
Is your dog staying here?
My dog is staying here. But actually, you know what? My house is right there, so you could just pick me up on the way. It'd be easier.
It's... Okay, yeah.
I'm going out of Sarasota, so it's a little bit... It's not like we have to, like, really leave at 4. You could probably pick me up at, like, 5:30 and drop me off real quick.
Yeah.
Because I think it's 6:42 when I leave or some shit. But, yeah, man, I didn't really do much this weekend besides that, shiznit. What'd you got going on this weekend?
I had a pretty relaxing and calm weekend, other than the fact that I decided I wanted to go for a run, and so I went to Robinson Preserve, and it was pretty late by the time I got out there. And
Doesn't it close at sundown?
I think it closes at sundown, but I don't know how they evacuate the park or what they do. I don't know if they drive around with carts or just lock the gates. I don't know.
They'll
exactly
lock the
how
gates on your car.
Okay. Well, they didn't lock the gates on my car.
You got lucky.
But my wife and my kids were in the car, and I got out, and it was raining, and it was about 7 o'clock at night, and I started running, and I got, I'd say probably about 1.5 miles back. Like, I was pretty deep back into Robinson. And so I'm looking, and I'm like, this trail connects to another trail, which would lead to a third trail to get back to a fourth trail to get back to the parking lot. Or I can go back the way I came from, which is just 2 trails. And so I'm kind of contemplating, like, it's starting to rain a little harder. Like, should I head on back? As I'm running, I look ahead and I see a stick in the path. And the path is about 6 feet, I'd say. I mean, longer, because if I laid down in it, I wouldn't cross the whole path. But this stick was in the brush from one side of the trail and across almost the entire trail. So I had two options. I could just get all the way to the right to just avoid it because it's a big stick, or I can just jump over it. It's not that big of a stick. So I opted to jump over this thing. Well, once I got about 2 steps away. So, when you're running a stop sign, not on purpose, but like you don't see it, and you get a little bit past it and you're like, oh shit, that's a stop sign.
I gotta just go.
Yeah, you don't want to stop because you don't want to stop in the center of the intersection and get blasted. Right. So you just go. Well, so I'm like 2 steps away from this thing, and I look down and I'm like, man, that stick has some intricate details on it. Like it had diamonds on its back and these little triangles on the side of it. And I was like, who carved that thing? And then it hit me because I saw that its head narrowed on down. And I was like, that's a fucking snake, dude. And so I was like 2 steps away. I was like, man, I got to take one more step. And I didn't even want to take that step. It was one of those like half steps, like let it touch and shoot up, you know?
No.
And so I had to take one more step. I took that step and I launched up over this thing. And I'm pretty sure I surprised it because I looked down and it like rears back, opens its mouth, shoots up, pops my shoe. Like, doesn't hit me, but I hear the pop on my shoe, I couldn't feel anything.
Because your foot was fucking poison.
Well, because my adrenaline was fucking just pumping, bro. And for some reason, I was under the impression that this snake's going to chase me. So I'm running as fast as I fucking can down this trail. And luckily, the snake didn't chase me.
The reason why you thought it was going to chase you is because you have fight or flight, and you're like, I'm not fighting a snake.
No, fuck that. He's too quick, man. I don't know what my reaction time is, but I know his is better.
Bro, what kind of snake was it?
So Sean told me that there's some rattlesnakes out there, and I looked them up, and that's the pattern on it. But it was kind of like a little lighter. Like, I mean, it was still brown like that, but it wasn't.
Maybe he
so
just shed his
brown.
skin or some shit.
Maybe, I don't know. And I wouldn't have heard him rattle probably if it was a rattlesnake.
Hard and shit.
Well, because he was just crossing the trail, and I just surprised the shit out of him. He didn't know I was there
when you
until I was
when you
above
jumped over him, he probably thought you were a predator. Like, oh, I'm gonna get you.
That's what Sean was saying. Sean goes, whenever you were above him, he probably thought you were coming to take him,
like a bird.
Yeah, and I was like, what was I supposed to do? I mean, I was 2 steps away. I was committed to the jump.
You're lucky he bit your shoe and not you, bro.
What do you mean? I didn't let him bite me. I was quick with it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? All right. So, anyways,
do you know I have a similar rattlesnake story?
Hold on, let me finish mine real quick. Because then I get down the trail, and I'm gassed, bro. Like, I've just been going for 1.5 miles. The only time I stopped, I was just doing pull-ups and push-ups, and I just almost got smoked by this snake. And it's raining. It's like raining so bad that like I can't even like see good. And there's nobody else in this park. Like, nobody. I can see a truck driving around in the parking lot, but it's the ranger truck, like checking to see if there's any cars left. And so I'm like, man, I can't go the other 2 miles because, like I said, I don't know how they locked this place up, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And at the same time, I could go back this 1.5 miles, but I know that there's a snake back there.
Not going that way.
So I opted to go that way.
Snake way?
Yeah, I had to go the snake way. But I picked up a stick, and I slowly walked it until I got to the point, because the whole trail looks like the same to me.
So you're like at some point he's here.
Yeah, so I get to a point where I'm like, I feel like it was right here. I'm not sure if it was right here. It could have been
2 more steps.
Yeah, it could have been 20 feet up. It could be right over this hill. I could just book it over this hill and just have to hop him again. But I feel like it was right here. So I just took the stick and I chucked it and I just ran as fast as I could all the way down that trail back and got back to the car.
Did you hear any noise when you chucked the stick?
No.
He's probably gone, bro.
Yeah, I probably scared him too.
What day was that?
That was Sunday.
Sunday?
Almost got smoked, bro.
Dang.
Sean told me that if a rattlesnake bites you, he looked up like the symptoms.
You have like 3 minutes, right?
Before you, like, what happens is you start bleeding from all your orifices.
That's like some shit that like you think about like in like Hellraiser or like a.
I couldn't have got back in 3 minutes. I couldn't have got back in 10 minutes.
No,
I couldn't have got back to the car in 10 minutes.
The problem too is that like if you run and stuff with the venom, you're making your blood pump more.
You said that too, yeah.
You die even faster.
Yeah. So you can't run. You have to tourniquet it off and slowly walk and be like, I hope that I can get there in enough fucking time. And the problem is I tried to call my wife to tell her to like bring the car
service.
Closer. No, I had service, but it was raining so hard.
She couldn't understand you.
No, I couldn't fucking dial on my phone. It was just all fucking wet. Every time I pull it out, I'm trying to type like in numbers. It's just doing all kinds of weird
Don't you
shit.
remember the old school way where you put your phone under your shirt and you like put your head in your shirt?
I wasn't thinking. Oh, I didn't even have my shirt on.
Of course you didn't.
Yeah.
The problem of being muscular.
No, that's not what it is.
It was raining, and I have muscles, so I couldn't wear them with my shirt on. So I naturally could use my phone.
Guys, if you're liking and enjoying the episode and want us to make some more great content for you, you could go down to the bottom and click support the show. It's either like a one-time $3 charge, or you can give $3 every month, and that would really help. We could just keep making some good episodes for you. If you can't do that, we ask that you go and rate us in whichever platform that you listen to and share us wherever you can. It means a lot to us, so we can keep making some great episodes for you guys, the listeners, the ones that we do it for the most. Thank you.
I was running. No, I got like water in my ear at some point, so I had to take my shirt off and cover tie it around my head.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have the headphones. That's why I could hear the pop.
How old are we that like? Oh, I was running.
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to sound super old, but you're just calling me out for some dumb shit, so I got to be like, okay, well, what really happened is I took my fucking shirt off and tied it around my head like a weird-ass fucking doctor patient.
You're like,
so
doc,
that water wouldn't touch my ear because it hurt too
like
bad.
in the 1930s, like when your tooth hurt, you'd put like a warm compress and tie it around your head.
That's what I did, bro. I was like, dude,
keep that rain out, bro.
And that's why I took the fucking headphones out, is because...
Bro, so I have a similar story with rattlesnakes. Remember, I'm going to keep it brief because we're trying to get into stuff. Remember when I did the touring with the We the Kings roadie stuff? So we were at the Gorge in Washington. It's like this famous gorge that's like a natural outside amphitheater. And Travis wanted to go hike down the mountain, and there was rattlesnakes and crazy cougars and stuff, and everyone else was being pussies. So me and Travis was like, Rulo, no one wants to go with me. Will you fucking go with me? Can we go? He's like, I need people to like record me. And I was like, hell yeah, bro, we can go. And we start going, and that's back in like my super scene days. So I'm wearing like shorts like this with like, you know what I'm saying? Like these kind of shoes, like hiking down a mountain with rattlesnakes. And I think I had, actually, it was like these kind of shoes, but they were the tying kind. And I had like a rock in my shoe, and my shoe became untied because I stepped on it. So I went to go get a rock out of it, and I go to sit down, like on what I thought was like a little boulder, and I just hear...
It was just a snake.
Right under my ass.
You thought a snake was a boulder?
It was the way it was sitting, dog. Like it was
like it wasn't under an actual rock. It was just you were gonna sit on.
I was gonna sit right on this motherfucking snake, and I immediately was like, "Fuck it, the rock can stay in my shoe." And when I heard that, I sat up as fast as I could, and I turned. I started walking back up the mountain. I was like, Travis, man, I don't think we should hike this mountain. I think we will die if we hike this mountain.
Yeah, that's also what my thought was. Is after I saw that, I was like, man, I feel like if I keep going, I'm gonna see more of those snakes crossing this path.
Like your thought process is, I really want to hike this, or in my case, I really want to hike this. In your process, I really want to run still, but like, I don't need to die today.
Yeah, I mean, I just knew that the conditions were just getting worse. And like the snakes and the alligators and shit.
The funny thing was that wasn't even the first rattlesnake that we had seen. We had seen one or two before that point, and we were like, "Oh, it's fine. They're not near us," you know. And then I went to sit down, and it was like, I was like,
right there.
I'm like, dude, I could have just died right now.
Just bait you on the ass and just.
And imagine we go back up to the Warped Tour up the mountain, and we're like, we need anti-venom for this loser-ass guy that's not even in a band and isn't even important.
They probably have it, though.
But do you think they would have given it to me?
Fuck yeah.
I'm just some dude.
They don't want no lawsuit. I'd sue the shit out of them. I'm so poor, dude. I'd sue the fuck out of anybody who I could. I swear to God, kill someone in my family, I'm suing you.
You're like, bro. But technically, they're not. I don't think they are in control of me, but... That's all you did this weekend? Just almost died by a rattlesnake?
I mean, they would be in control if they withheld the only thing that could save your life.
You're way quieter than you were before. I don't know if you need to turn the mic like around or something.
How about now?
Yeah, now you're better.
Okay.
A little bit.
But you heard what I said?
You said what?
I said that they can be held accountable. They would be held accountable if they were withholding the one medicine that could save your life.
Right. Oh, yeah, if they had it. But if they didn't have it, they could just...
Yeah, if they didn't have it, obviously. But I'm saying they probably had it. And you're saying, would they give it to me? I'm saying they'd fucking have to.
Oh, they'd have to if they had it. Yeah, at that point. But I mean, like, they could also be like, we didn't have it, and just throw it away.
Throw it away. We could have saved this guy, but instead go hide it in the dumpster. With his body.
After.
Jeez.
Pretty dark stuff, man.
Dark. All right, so should I hop into the
Yeah, man,
segment?
we can go into the next article. I feel like we should have a little jingle, so it could be like, bing, 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 past moments presented presently with Daniel. You know? Bing, 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 bing.
Why is it got to...
bing.
You already thought about it? You already got the big bing, bing.
No,
bing,
that
bing,
like
bing,
you,
bing.
what I'm thinking in my head is like, you remember like old school, like how it'd be like a news break, and it'd be like, for our next,
Oh, I see.
you know, and like I'm not, it doesn't.
I can hear it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. Yeah, I just did a bad job imitating it.
Yeah, I can hear it once you said like the news thing.
Yeah, bro. Right. Here we go. I got it. There it is.
All right. Was that my introduction? Am I going into it?
Now, guys, for the next segment on the Weekend Rundown, past moments reported presently with Daniel. Today in history, August 21st. Take it away.
All right. We got August 21st, 1831. Nat Turner launches a rebellion of enslaved people. Nat Turner leads a rebellion of around 75 enslaved Africans against their enslavers in Southampton County, Virginia. They killed about 55 white people in the area, making it the deadliest slave revolt in the history of the United States. The rebellion was suppressed after a few days, and Turner was tracked down and executed about 6 weeks later.
R.I.P. Nat Turner. We should make T-shirts.
Yeah. I don't think today was the day he died. It was about 6 weeks later.
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right.
It was just today was the launch of the rebellion.
So hopefully we do an episode in 6 weeks and then like Nat Turner dies.
Yeah, I guess.
Then we can make a shirt.
Hopefully they bring it up.
I hope.
All right, so then we got 1911 on August 21st.
That's a good gun.
The Mona Lisa is stolen.
Oh yeah. So before you continue, I heard this thing that like the Mona Lisa that's in the Louvre now, like because when it got returned or whatever, it's not the real Mona Lisa. It's like,
why? What do they think happened to the real one? It's still stolen, or someone destroyed
like
it?
some I actually heard a theory. You know that like the world's richest dude, that guy that lives in that like jungle in that Asian country or whatever.
Never heard of him.
He lives in like a jungle in like not Korea, like
He's the richest guy in the world.
Like he has so much flipping money, but like he only has one phone and he lives in like a hut and like he owns like all of his country, but like he's not the president of it. Like he just owns it.
What country is it?
I don't know, bro. Like I wish I could. I don't know, man. I just looked it up. Like, I can't find this information that I saw before. So maybe this was a lucid dream, but I swear to God, I saw this like on like Joe Rogan Experience or something about this dude that's like super loaded and like lives off the grid. He's like a guerrilla warfare dude and like is like, I don't know, like a political terrorist or some shit.
Oh, we'll have to look him up and have more information on him for the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, we can always do that too.
But back to the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece, is stolen from the Louvre Museum in Paris. The thief, Vincenzo Perugia, went undetected until about 2 years later when he tried to sell the painting to the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. He was soon arrested, but he served only 7 months in jail. Perugia claimed he'd stolen the painting in order to bring it back to Italy, where he believed it belonged.
I mean, that's where they made it or whatever. But
It's
like,
for a good cause.
so that was part of the
He's
thing.
like Killmonger.
That was part of the thing that like made me bring up that dude that lives in that jungle and he's super rich. People like him are the people that own the art that got stolen, you know? That was what I was trying to say.
Right. All right, so August 21st, 1955 was a weird night.
Super weird, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our listeners know about this, and if you don't, then get fucking ready.
Yeah, if you don't know, you need to, I mean, even after we talk about it, you need to look it up.
Can I say just the headline of this because I love the subject matter so much? So in 1955, the Kelly-Hopkinsville UFO incident takes place. Yeah.
And it was a wild one. I guess it's one of the most...
It's got to be one of the most famous like UFOs. Like what we think of like aliens like are like based on this story.
And the Air
right?
Force had showed up to it.
And like the military police and shit, right?
Yeah, and they weren't even called. And there was proof that they had fired shotguns out through their windows, and they even said that they had found like a weird like substance on the fence.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
But what it says here is the Sutton family from Kelly, Kentucky, rushes into the police station in nearby Hopkinsville and claims a UFO landed on their farm. Multiple family members swore they saw aliens disembark and peep into their windows.
Yeah, no, I heard it was like the aunt, the mom, the daughter, the grandma. Like I think I just said a bunch of ladies, but like the uncle and the dad, like everybody saw them.
Their story, now known as the Kelly-Hopkinsville encounter, made national news as one of the most detailed alleged UFO sightings on record when curious onlookers traveled to see the farm for themselves. The Suttons tried to charge for admission, causing the public to believe they concocted the story for money.
Well, see, I mean, like, when crazy stuff happens and then you, like, charge money for it, people think it's a hoax, right?
Every time. But
like, you can't be doing that.
But this doesn't mention that they had... I guess they were shooting guns at the...
No, yeah, like this doesn't mention the story. Like you and me have heard the story where like they shot guns at it.
They said they know that there was at least 3 because at one point when they went out on the porch, there was one in a tree, one on the roof, and he shot one and all they do is tumble back. And they kind of like just floated above the ground even though they had legs. They were like a tropic. And... yeah, man, it's just a crazy story. They apparently harassed this family for hours before they went to the police station. Like, when you say
hours, it's not like 2 hours. It was like 12 hours, like all night long.
Yeah, it
like
was
the second the sun went down until like an hour before the sun came up. It was like
6 hours until they went to the police station, and then once they went to the police station, the police came out.
The shit was still going down.
And then the Air Force came out, and then they left, and then the creatures came back.
But their blood was everywhere. It was like translucent, like glowing in the dark.
So, I mean, it's a crazy story. Obviously, there's no pictures or anything like that, so take it with a grain of salt. But
it's like fun. All over everywhere all the time. Like it was massively distributed even before the internet.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it was the year 1955.
Yeah, dude.
And they were charging admission for people to coming out, so it was obviously well known at the time. 1959, Hawaii becomes the 50th U.S. state.
Which it feels so weird, like being born after 1959 to be like, there was a time where there was 49, like an odd number of states. Like, what? That's gross. It's just gross to think about.
Well, I mean, isn't there like
50
a
sounds-
vote to make the Puerto Rico a state? Right?
Yeah, I honestly think we should, but I feel like the exact reason I just said.
Can we cut it in half? They'd probably hate that.
Like what? Like
I mean, it's just a state line. You just drive
why would you
over
cut
a
it?
state line
Why would you cut them in half?
so that we can have an even number?
Oh,
I mean,
so there's two Puerto Rico, like North Puerto Rico and South Puerto Rico?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, they would hate us so much.
They
if
wouldn't
we just,
like it. No,
if
I
we
know
just
they wouldn't
decided
like it.
that.
But it's not like it's like different countries. It's not like, oh, you got to cross a border to go see your family. It's the same country. It's just different states.
We just
it's like us going to Georgia. You just drive it.
But here's the deal: the Puerto Rico probably doesn't want it because, like you said, it's not the same country. Because the country it's part of is America. Then that's why they're already U.S. territories, and they're already technically we're already technically allowed to go there. I think without
they can come here. Yeah.
Yeah, we could just go to Puerto Rico right now without a passport, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, see, so it's technically got all the same, no, it doesn't have all the same things because they don't have to pay taxes and shit like the way we have to, and they don't have the same,
No, yeah, they do.
They do?
They pay our taxes. They don't get representation.
So they don't get,
That's
medical
why
or any
they're
of that
fighting for their state. They don't get representation in office, but they pay taxes. We tax the fuck out.
Well, that's fucked.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I read all about it.
Well, because our
totally
military probably protects them, quote unquote.
Yeah. Oh, we do, and I'm sure if something happened, we would. But there was a hurricane recently, and we kind of just left them out to dry.
FEMA's for Americans,
yeah.
not for
I think
American
eventually we sent help, but it took a long time.
After we realized the hurricane
we
wasn't
had to
gonna
talk
fuck
it
us
out.
up.
We shouldn't have to talk it out. We had to talk it out.
Yeah, dude.
So
it's silly. It's silly that they have to do that shit, and it's like, oh, is the hurricane going to hit us? Are any more hurricanes going to hit us? We only have so much FEMA money. We really can't be helping you before we help ourselves. But
Yeah,
you're part of us, but you're not part of us.
Yeah. You contributed to the FEMA money, but how much?
You're our adopted child, and you're important for taking care of us, but you're not in the will.
Yeah, no, it's fucked. I think they should get representation. If they want what I think is if they want representation and they want to be a state, they should get that. I also think
they should be allowed to vote on it.
Don't want representation and they don't want to be a state and they want to be a country, they should get that as well.
And we should be allowed to invade them and take them over.
We should be. We wouldn't because it's an ally and another influence that we have in the world court. The world arena.
I like the world court. It sounds like Game of Thrones 2023.
It's just kind of like that's how they operate.
Literally, I think when he was writing Game of Thrones, he just looked at the current government situation and was like, what if I did this in the past with fucking dragons? That's what it feels like.
With dragons.
With dragons.
Add dragons. Joe Biden and dragons.
We're glad you're here, Hawaii. We're glad you're here.
All right, so in 1959, Hawaii became the 50th state. Back in the 19th century, Hawaii was ruled by a monarchy and was deeply economically tied to the United States. But in 1887, a group of non-native businessmen and lawyers forced Hawaiian King Kalakaua to sign a constitution that stripped power from the monarchy and prevented most native Hawaiians from voting.
Boo.
In 1893, a group of non-native landowners overthrew Queen Lily. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Landowners overthrew Queen Liliuokalani. Liliuokalani. That's what I'm going to say. Queen Liliuokalani.
You did good. You did good.
And established the Republic of Hawaii. Soon afterward, it would become the territory of Hawaii. After years of failed attempts to grant Hawaii statehood, the U.S. Congress finally passed a resolution that officially entered Hawaii into the Union in 1959. Why were the attempts failed? Because somebody wanted to be a piece of shit?
Because historically, our people who are the same color as us have been assholes.
And they have run the country.
Yeah, they've run pretty much the world. So we're sorry for the people who look like us in the past, guys.
Okay, so I don't know how all these stories, literally, I've heard a story about one where they killed the king, where the business or the lawyers forced the king to sign over the Constitution, and then the landowners killed the queen. I heard a story about that. I've heard the story about the UFO. Usually, I don't get lucky enough to where I hear I've heard of everything that happened today.
Have you heard of the next story?
But the next one is 1986. The carbon dioxide erupts from Lake Nyos in Cameroon.
Which I didn't even know Cameroon was a thing.
I mean, I'll read the story before I get
Say
into
whether
what
or
I
not
told
you've
you.
known
Yeah.
it.
But a large cloud of lethal gas erupts from the bottom of Lake Nyos in Cameroon.
Where's Cameroon?
It is Asia, right?
All right, I'm gonna look it up while you're doing this. While you're saying it,
Okay, I'm gonna guess Southwest Asia, South Asia.
I'm gonna guess that it's in Cambodia.
No, it's a country, bro.
It is
Yeah.
South Central Africa.
Central. God, I was so far off.
I was way wronger than you. I didn't even know.
I know it's an African country too. I'm an idiot. I've seen him in the World Cup.
I bet on Cameroon. I fucking know it's red, green, and black.
I don't think it is. It is it? Yeah, I think it is.
Is it? I'm making that up. I'm sorry if that's like just me guessing.
No, it's yellow. I know they have yellow in there.
Okay, my bad.
It's like yellow, green, and red or some shit. Or yellow, green, and black, maybe. I don't know. But a large cloud of lethal gas erupts from the bottom of Lake Nyos in Cameroon, killing 1,746 people and more than 3,500 livestock.
It claimed over 5,000 lives or close to it. Yeah, 5,000 lives.
Yeah, if we're counting livestock.
Yeah, we are.
Known as a limnic eruption, the resulting cloud descended on nearby villages, displacing the air and suffocating people up to 15 miles away.
Holy.
Experts believe the disaster may have been triggered by a landslide or a small volcanic eruption. Okay, so the story I heard was about a guy that lived in a small village on Lake Nyos.
Like on the edge, obviously.
Yep. And on August 20th, 1986, he was out at the bar and he got drunk. And he decided that he was going to just walk home. So he walked home and he passed out. And instead of passing out on the bed, he passed out on the floor. And there's a good chance that him passing out on the floor is the reason that he lived.
Because carbon dioxide doesn't go to the floor.
Exactly. And I guess whenever you're like inebriated, I guess you breathe less when you sleep. Like
okay.
your
So he's breathing
inhales are
less and he's on the floor.
Yep. And then the next morning, he wakes up and he goes outside and he goes to like his sister's house or something and nobody answers the door. And nobody's out in the streets. Nobody's around. And then he goes to like his mom's house. He goes inside. They're all just laying there unresponsive, just dead. He goes like some other places and he just sees like dead people laying all over the fucking place. And then he's
zombie apocalypse.
And then he's like, I got to go get help. And so then he runs to go get help. And the next village he gets to, everybody's dead, dude. And he finally gets to a point where not everybody's dead. But the whole time he's thinking to himself,
everybody in the world's dead.
Yeah, well, so that's the problem is when he doesn't know what's going on, he's thinking, what the fuck happened? And then once he realizes what's going on, he's like, why am I not dead yet?
Right, like I think I'm going to die soon.
Exactly.
Everyone else died.
It's coming. I was there.
Dang, he probably just thought he was going to die for like a fucking month.
Yeah, dude. I would have been, probably longer than that. He probably still thinks there's some sort of residual, like he probably thinks he's going to die of cancer attributed to the Lake Nyos incident.
I might think something crazy. If I'm still alive right now, at 30 years later, fucking 40 years later, I'd probably be like, I'm okay.
I'd still pursue money on your behalf.
Of course, we already talked about this.
I'm just letting everybody know. Harm my brother, I'm taking you for every penny you got. Even if you only got pennies.
But if you heckle me at a comedy show, I'm going to fucking take you for everything you've got.
Yeah, no heckles.
No, I'll destroy you. I'll own it. I don't care. I'm ready.
All right, so that's everything I got from today.
You want to go into my first article? It kind of relates to something you were talking about.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of sad article, and normally we're known for our weird news, but I felt like this was kind of important to talk about. 850 people are still unaccounted for in Maui because of the wildfires.
And that is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people to be
think about
missing.
Just to put it in perspective, I mean, a classroom full of kids seems like a lot of people. That's 30 freaking people.
And like, I remember
We're talking about like a school.
When I was in school,
school
if a teacher had more than 30 kids, they'd be like, oh, I have 32. It's a lot.
Exactly, yeah. We're talking, I mean, just put that into perspective. That's how I always judge things. I'm like, well, a full classroom with 30 kids was always like so many fucking kids.
Yeah, dude. So that's like a lot. 850 people.
It's
it says that. So it says the 850 people are still unaccounted for after the wildfires destroyed Lahaina and other parts of Maui earlier this month. The news comes as the FBI works with the Maui Police Department to find possible matches between DNA submitted by loved ones and samples taken from bodies recovered from the scene. Oof, that's not good.
I saw videos of them jumping in the water.
There is positive news in this number, even though it sounds bad, because when this process began, the missing persons list contained over 2,000 names.
Well, then they found some. That's good.
Yeah, they found a
lot.
But
I mean, a lot of people had to jump in the water to escape the fire. I mean, you got to think Hawaii isn't like our coast. It's not gradual down. It's a drop off right there. You're swimming. You're kicking the whole time.
Yeah, you could die. Like,
I mean, if there's some old people in there, some sick people in there, how many hours do you got to stay out?
I mean,
there's some people that may have drowned.
It's so crazy because they're trying to sell me a book on the ad on the side of this page says "He Who Drowned the World" is the book they're trying to sell me.
Damn,
it's crazy that you're talking about people who drowned.
But I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, there's probably, I mean, a lot of people probably perished in the fires and.
Well, it said so far it said that 1,285 individuals have been located safe, which that's over 60% of the original people.
That's good. How long has it been?
I'm not quite sure, but I think they've been going on for about a couple weeks, 10 days, 14 days.
I mean, if you haven't turned up yet, it's not looking great.
Well, the cool thing,
it could happen.
Cool thing, but like Hawaii does have a lot of bush and shit, so these people could be hiding. Like, not.
Yeah, but
hiding.
why are you hiding now? It's been 10 days.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
You haven't figured it out.
I don't know. Me?
No, not you. I'm saying they haven't figured out the fire's no longer burning.
I mean, maybe they're like all beat up and fucked up and halfway dead. Halfway
dead. If they can't move or get no help, then they haven't drank anything in 10 days.
They're probably going to die.
No, they're probably already dead. You know what they call it? They call it death by exposure.
Normally, I like to put funny things on our reels. I don't feel like we're going to have any funny things this episode to talk about.
I mean, we've had a couple laughs, but I mean, they're more sinister.
Yeah, it's some dark humor.
Yeah.
Some dark humor.
I don't know why we...
Do you want me
I don't think it's the death part.
Can I break our tradition of back and forth and go into my next one because it kind of pertains to that one?
Yeah, let's hear
it. So it's not about Hawaii, but it is about wildfires. Canada is apparently deploying their army to help fight the wildfires in British Columbia. I had no idea that wildfires were destroying the world so flippin' bad right now.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, like from Hawaii to British Columbia? Jesus,
California.
Dude.
It's been in California. It's been in Washington.
Canada's going to deploy their military to tackle the fast-spreading wildfires in British Columbia, the Prime Minister just said, as the western province deals with nearly 400 fires that have led to evacuation orders in more than 35,000 people. So my friend recently said, oh, most wildfires are just people who want to start them. Over 400 fires? No fucking way, dude.
Dude, you have to think these firefighters aren't bad at their jobs. Like,
there's just not enough of them.
But they know how to put out a fire. So if the conditions aren't right for a fire, then all they have to do is show up and put it out. It's because the land is so dry, the temperature is...
And they can't put it out. They can't wet it enough.
Yeah, it's so hot, you can't keep anything wet. And it's just everything's burning, you know? Like, People can't. I mean, we can affect that through our carbon footprint, I guess, but we can't affect that just like by throwing a cigarette on the ground. If you throw a cigarette onto a wet ground, it's not going to light it.
Right.
If you throw it onto
a dry ground.
Yeah, if you throw it onto a grass in Florida with this humid ass climate, it's probably not going to fucking set a fire. And even if it did, somebody could show up and put that fire out very quickly.
Because the way we have humidity.
Exactly. But there's dry air, dry land.
Right. British Columbia declared a state of emergency actually on Friday and imposed a ban on all non-essential travel to free up accommodations for evacuees and firefighters. It urged drone operators and others to capture images of the fires to stay clear of the workers trying to rescue people. Apparently, this is the worst wildfire season ever. The most they've ever had before is like under 200. In some cities in British Columbia, the air quality index, I don't know what this means, it measures like incredibly high in pollutants, and these pollutants are what are catching fire, apparently. Hazardous levels.
So air quality. So that's coming from China over to Canada.
Which is crazy because like it's also Hawaii, right? Like
Hawaii, yeah.
California. West Kelowna Fire Chief Jason Brolin said he saw some hope after battling epic fires. It said epic like this for the past four flipping days, dude. Somebody give this fire chief a fucking medal.
An epic medal.
Yeah, dude. He said conditions have improved, helping firefighters to put out more boots on the ground and dump water on flames that threatened towns of nearly 150,000 people. We are finally feeling like we are moving forward rather than moving backwards, and that's a good feeling, he said.
I would imagine.
Forest fires are not uncommon in Canada, but the spread of blazes and disruptions underscore the severity of its worst fire season yet, which some experts have blamed on climate change. Got a joke about climate change. Other fires,
it's no joke.
Other fires exacerbated, which I found out what that word meant from Shaun of the Dead, by severe drought.
Terrific movie.
But apparently they've been reported closer and closer to the United States border as of recently.
Well, we just got over the ones, still, because we count Hawaii. Hawaii's not Puerto Rico anymore,
I guess so far about 54,054 square miles of land, roughly the size of New York State, has been scorched in.
Isn't there a huge hurricane coming into California? If that clipped into Canada, would that put it out?
I don't know. Clipped into Canada. The way you say it like makes it sound like it's like some weird like going outside the boundaries of the video game. Like when you say clipping, that's what I think of. Like,
well, I'm just saying because I know it's not headed to Canada. So, but if it was going on like a northeasterly route, it could just kind of clip like the outside of it.
Right. I don't know that I would have put it out though.
I think it would do some wind or it might make it worse.
Something would not be good.
If there wasn't enough rain, it might just blow it around and just burn up everything.
Just like the perfect storm 2
with fire.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible.
Imagine a tornado running through that. Just throwing flaming trees and branches.
Yeah, those firefighters would die, and that's not good.
That would be brutal.
You want to go into your next article, man? Because that's pretty much all I got as far as forest fires go.
Yeah, I wish that I could jump into... I mean, I guess I could jump into one that's not really, like, morbid. But I think we should start with the morbid one just because we've already been
We're morbid. We're doing morbid.
All right, well, and I'll end with the one that's
Which is good because
lighthearted.
I've got the next one I have is, like, still fucked up.
Okay, so then we'll end on a lighthearted one. All right, so 7-year-old boy dies after posing in limestone dust for family photo.
How dumb were his parents? Like, dude, what?
I mean, the photo is... They dug him in like it was sand.
Why did they let him do that?
And he's got his thumbs up.
And then he died.
It's
like,
up
right
like
after
past his belly button. There's
He's
mounds of it behind him.
And he's breathing it all in.
Yeah. His name's Arthur.
It
A
was
7-year-old boy from Brazil's Parana region.
That was fucked up. I'm sorry, Arthur.
Tragically lost his life after playing in limestone dust and posing for an innocent family photo.
Not innocent, dude. His family are stupid.
The deadly incident occurred on August 3rd in the town of Ipiranga, southern Brazil. The 7-year-old Arthur was playing on the side of the road under the watchful eye of his family when he noticed a pile of fine white dust. The boy apparently thought it would be fun to roll and play in it, and even cover himself in the white dust like kids usually do with sand at the beach. His parents apparently didn't see anything wrong with it either, and they even took a photo of the boy playing and posing with 2 thumbs up. They had no idea that this would be the last photo of the young boy alive. Moments after getting up from the pile of white dust, Arthur started feeling bad and was taken to the local hospital, but doctors could do nothing to save his life. What Arthur and his family didn't know was that the pile of dust that some construction company had allegedly dumped on the side of the road was actually limestone dust.
Oh, no.
A common concrete filler. It can cause irritation to the skin and the eyes in the case of direct contact, but it is particularly dangerous when inhaled. Although Arthur only played in the dust for a few minutes, he reportedly inhaled quite a bit of it, which proved fatal.
Bro, like real quick, like you're talking about suing people. Like these people are, like they didn't say the name of the company because they're getting sued.
They're getting sued for sure.
Hard.
Limestone dust contains silica crystals, which, when inhaled, can cause serious diseases like lung cancer, COPD, and silicosis.
COPD is like basically like you have like what like whole like air bubbles in your lungs or some shit.
I've never heard of it, but that sounds awful. The latter is the result of accumulated silica particles in the lungs, which causes inflammation and scarring. However, silicosis usually occurs after years of exposure to breathable silica. According to Brazil's Institute of Research and Technology, if a person inhales limestone dust and starts exhibiting poisoning symptoms, they should receive artificial respiration or oxygen and immediate medical attention. Unfortunately, Arthur's family had no idea what he was exposing himself to. They posted the boy's last photo both as a tribute to him and as a warning for other parents not to repeat their mistake.
Dumbasses, which means like, hey, yo, like there's no manual for being parents, but also like maybe don't let your kids play in everything and anything just cuz.
Unfucking believable.
Like, oh, it's totally fine. Like he can just be a kid and run around in that. Like, no, sometimes you do need to rein your kid in. I don't have kids, so maybe I'm wrong. But like, bro, like just come on. Come the fuck on. Was this a 7th kid in the family or something?
Yeah, just type. I mean, I'm sure you could type in like 7-year-old Brazilian boy named Arthur, and you'd probably come back and see this photo, and it's awful, dude. Like,
You can
if
tell
it was
it's limestone
America,
immediately.
if it was America, these parents would be facing charges.
Bro, there's even the funny thing is the article said like you would do in sand, but there's literally sand in the fucking background of the photo, so you can tell it's not sand. So maybe you shouldn't fucking play in it.
Yeah, that seems irresponsible to me.
I don't know, man. Not everything in the world is safe for us. Like we were so coddled by like our environments and stuff that we think that like, oh, it's okay, I'll just go roll around in this shit, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done something like that.
No, dude, you'd go snatch your
without
kid
my
up right
parents.
away if he was in that shit immediately.
Yeah, but even if I was a kid, I wouldn't.
No,
If I
I'd be
didn't
like,
know
Dad,
what the
what's that?
substance was, yeah.
Hey, what's that? Fuck, man.
Yeah, that was a bad one. You can top it? You got one more morbid than that?
I do. Well, maybe not as far as like a child dying, but
Yeah, I was going to say, is it 5?
my next one is a Texas tattoo shop boss fires his employee, then kills him in an argument over final paycheck.
I fucking love that. Go.
Javier Big Dog Arredendo is accused of shooting fired employee who wouldn't leave the tattoo parlor.
Okay, you don't fuck with the big dog?
Yeah, no, it literally says Big Dog in quotes.
Yeah, it's his name.
Chow. My computer isn't working right now. No.
This guy didn't want to do his job, and then he wanted to get an extra little piece off Big Dog, and
He
Big
wanted to
Dog
get a little
wasn't
paid
having it.
action as well.
Big Dog was like, "No, sir."
Yeah, dude. Big Dog wasn't having that at all.
Nope.
So it says Texas authorities arrest Big Dog, or it says arrest a man accused of shooting. Whoa, that's not even the same one. That's a different ad. It says, sorry, the owner of the Texas tattoo shop on Tuesday fired the employee who refused to leave the parlor, according to the Arlington Police Department, then shot him to death in an argument over his final paycheck.
Dude, first off, when Big Dog asks you to leave, you leave.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Javier Big Dog Arriendo, a 42-year-old artist and entrepreneur, fired the unidentified 46-year-old man Tuesday afternoon. Arriendo terminated the victim.
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry. Those choice of words.
Love the writer.
He double terminated the victim due to an incident that happened a week earlier.
Goodness.
I can't even continue. I can't get to it.
It says he double terminated him.
No, I added that part.
I was like,
added the
good
double
God.
terminated because, dude, we know he terminated him, but you said terminated to mean fucking fired him.
Yeah, no. That's a bad one.
That's
bro.
dark humor. And you want to know the best part? Is
What?
this is on Fox fucking News, dude. I want to meet this guy who wrote for this article here.
Dude,
But it says that
I want to know what the argument was about.
due to I'm sorry, I was almost there. The terminated word set me off, dude. Terminated him due to an incident that happened earlier in the week. According to the police, documents obtained by Fox News Digital said the person's name is being withheld pending the official release from the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office.
Oh, so he's not. Is he dead? He killed. He shot him
the
to death.
victim wouldn't leave, according to the authorities, and amid a heated argument, Arendo had everyone else leave the shop. 3 witnesses told police that the victim had become upset and aggressive before they left. They'd barely gotten outside when police say the witnesses heard 3 gunshots, at least one of which struck the victim in the head. Bro, I'm thinking that like the second they were arguing, he said, "You guys need to go. Guys need to go." In the back of his head, he goes, "I'm going to shoot this motherfucker." Like,
Well, they said the other guy was getting aggressive,
yeah, the second that guy was getting aggressive, he was like, "I want to do it without you guys here."
right?
The shop appeared to have reopened by Thursday when a woman who answered the phone hung up on a reporter. Minutes earlier, one artist there advertised on Facebook that she had some time today for some smaller tattoos and consultations. The man himself called 911 asking for police to remove the man before the shooting, authorities said. But while Arlington Police Headquarters is just 3 blocks away, the shooting took place before they arrived.
Well, how long? How long did it take them to get there?
I don't know. It doesn't say that. It says he remained on the scene, and investigators said the victim was unarmed and that they did not find evidence that he attempted to physically assault him.
So he felt like he was justified, I feel like. I don't know
He
if
allegedly
he was,
told
but he felt like he was.
He allegedly told the responding officers that he was in fear of what the fired employee would do to him, according to a probable cause affidavit, but was unable to provide any legal basis to excuse a lethal response.
Well, he'll get charged. He has a chance to beat it.
He told him that he agreed to pay him on Friday, but the argument continued to escalate until the unarmed man became more aggressive, began shaking the display case and knocking items off the counter. That's not like
That's not a
fearing
killable
for your
offense.
life.
Yeah.
Felt fear that redacted would harm him, the affidavit said. He decided to draw his firearm and shoot him 3 times. However, the business owner also told police the victim hadn't made any threats, shown a weapon, or made any physical contact with him.
Man, you gotta say he made some threats.
You need to say pushed you at the very least, or
Yeah.
I'll kick your ass. He's
I'll
dead.
kill you.
He's dead now, bro.
Your word against a dead man? So you
He
gotta
has
kill him.
$100,000 bond.
He said, I'm gonna take that gun and kill you. Okay, so I fired.
I'm going to read the arrest warrant to you.
Come on, big dog.
The state of Texas County of Tarrant, to any peace officer of the state of Texas, greetings. The undersigned magistrate have hereforeund found the probable cause existed for the issuance of the warrant. You are hereby commended to arrest Javier Arendo, a Hispanic male born on redacted, hereinafter referred to as the suspect, and bring the said suspect before the magistrate. It just goes on with that kind of information. Basically says that Javier Arendo, a Hispanic male born on this date, is hereby committed to the appropriate jail for custody. It's basically like just arrest his ass.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know what happened there. He's from Chicago, apparently, I guess.
Well, he's used to that kind of reaction.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking nuts.
It's a brutal one.
Could you imagine dying over like $800?
That was yours?
Right?
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that shit.
Well, my last one is not so dark.
Are we going the other way with it? Because we need to. We need to really bad.
It's kind of funny. It's a power move, really. The article title says, Allergic plane passenger buys all peanut packages so staff can't serve them. Ready for the power move? Power move? Now they want their money back.
I bet those bitches didn't eat them.
Ooh, a woman allergic to peanuts claims to have had no choice but to buy all the peanut packets on board a plane so staff couldn't offer them to other passengers, thus putting her life at risk. Leah Williams was on a Eurowings flight from London to Dusseldorf in Germany.
Fucking Dusseldorf.
When she noticed the cabin crew getting ready to serve snacks to the passengers. Because she suffers from a severe nut allergy, she felt it necessary to let the flight attendants know as well, so they could inform the other passengers about it and refrain from serving peanuts during the flight.
Guess what? They didn't care.
Only she claims that the cabin crew was less than empathetic to her problems, leaving her no choice but to buy all the packets of peanuts available, just so they couldn't serve them to other people. She ended up spending 144 euros, or $184, on 48 packets of peanuts.
That would destroy her if she ate any of them.
Almost 3 times the price of the ticket of the plane ticket. It says that. Of the ticket of the plane ticket. She is now requesting a refund.
I hope they don't give it to her.
The stewards looked at me blankly like I was crazy and said, "But there is a lot. We'll have to count them all." I said, "Please do count them, and I will pay for them all, seeing as you have left me with no choice," Williams recently told the British reports. Eurowings should be ashamed of how they handled this situation and for the way they made me feel. The worst thing was
Can I say this real quick? Can I
Hold
just
on,
say this?
Hold on.
Okay.
The worst thing was they actually asked if I wanted to take the peanuts, and I said obviously not, the 27-year-old woman told Insider magazine, adding that the crew put the peanut packets in a plastic bag instead.
Bruh.
She is the biggest Karen.
Dude, that's exactly what's happening. Here's my point. How many flights have people been on since the beginning of flights where they were allergic to peanuts and other motherfuckers ate peanuts around them?
Yeah, she's not the first.
No, yeah, like, fuck this lady, dude.
Leah Williams said that the crew refused her request to make an announcement to the other passengers not to buy or consume any nuts on board because it could put her in an anaphylactic shock.
We have an EpiPen, bitch.
Claiming that it was against company policy. However, a Eurowings spokesperson said that the crew offered to inform the passengers around Miss Williams about her condition.
That wasn't good enough, probably.
We are very sorry that the flight with us did not go as smoothly as planned, and we regret any inconvenience that this has caused Leah Williams, the Eurowings spokesperson said. One thing in advance, Leah Williams was not forced to buy all packages of peanuts on board. On the contrary, our purser tried to offer her an alternative solution by informing all passengers sitting around her about Leah's allergy. She agreed at first, but then decided to still buy all the packages. Eurowings claims that it is unable to guarantee that the aircraft is free of foodstuffs that may trigger an allergic reaction, such as peanuts.
Like, every
because
airliner.
passengers are allowed to bring their own food on board. Furthermore, despite constant cleaning, the company is unable to prevent an accumulation of peanut nut traces and stresses that passengers with nut allergies should bring any medication they might need in their hand luggage. It is unclear if Eurowings plans to reimburse Leah Williams for the cost of the 48 packets of peanuts, but it sure doesn't sound like it. This case sparked a heated online debate both about which side is in the wrong and whether Leah Williams even had anything to worry about. According to a scientific study by the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology, peanut dust is not transmitted through the air.
Dumb
And
bitch.
contact could at most cause slight local irritation.
Karen. That's what we just heard, right? We
Yep.
just heard she was being a Karen.
But that was slick to buy them all and then ask, like, if she, what would have been,
If she was in America, they would have given her her money back.
it would have been slick if she didn't come up, if she didn't say anything. If she just bought them all and then asked for a refund afterwards.
Like said immediately, hey, these peanuts weren't what I thought. They're bad.
Yeah, that would have been slick. But instead, she told them about everything.
She
and
had
now
an
she's not gonna get a
opportunity and she
refund.
missed her opportunity.
Exactly. You can't give them all the information. You don't want them to know all.
What's her
your
name again?
cards.
Does it say her name?
Leah Williams.
Leah. Sounds like
She's only 28, so she doesn't know yet. But I'm letting you know, Leah, if you ever hear this,
you're never
don't
gonna.
show all your cards. Keep some hidden, and let them think they're winning.
Literally, if you think people feel bad for you, all they do is think you're being a bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Let them
like-
think that, oh man, we just sold all these peanuts.
We
And
did
then
a
let
great
them bounce
job.
back and be like, oh man, the peanuts were bad, She
And I
doesn't
don't
even
like 'em.
And then you send out back all the fucking peanuts, and nobody could buy the fucking peanuts. Instead, now everyone knows you're Karen. You made a huge deal about it. It wasn't slick. It was kind of stupid and obnoxious. And
You missed a giant opportunity to be a
and
hero
now-
in everyone's eyes.
and now instead of just saying they're bad and forcing them to buy them back, you were trying to force them to buy them back because you're saying they forced you to buy them. So
Yeah, no one forced you to do shit, especially
you
since
have
you
no
wouldn't actually die.
argument. You're fucked, Leah. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You fucked yourself.
Especially since there's people in Maui missing from wildfires.
You doubled your prices of your ticket because you wanted all the peanuts, even though it wasn't going to affect you.
You know what that
Unless
is?
you ate
You know
one.
what that is? That's her being like
A control freak?
that, but it's also like, feel bad for me to the point where if you don't believe how bad it is, I'll buy everything in here just
Right.
to prove that it's bad.
But then I want to sell it back because it's really not that bad.
Right, it's not that bad. I needed the attention in the moment, but also like it's not.
I
really
also need
that
the money
true.
because my
Yeah.
rent is really far behind, and I called off 6 shifts.
Do you know-
this
do you know
week,
how
and
much
there's only,
money you-
7 shifts in a day.
Do you know how
or
much
in a
money you
week.
get from doing articles on Buzzsprout? Not a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a little more lighthearted than our other ones, but also I think maybe because of the negativity of our other ones, it made me not like that person.
Yeah, no, I'm not on Leah Williams' side. I know that.
At first, I thought she was a G, and then the more you read, I thought,
Which is weird because I'm usually always against the company, but Leah Williams sounds like such a bitch.
when you're so much of a terrible person that I agree with a corporation, you have to be evil.
Like, if I was sitting next to her and she was like, I want to buy all the peanuts, I'd be like, I want to buy half. Why can't I have the right to buy half of
No,
them?
you're not allowed to buy half, man. You're not allowed to buy all of them, man, because you know what? Sell her all of them, but 2 packages. Why do you want 2 packages, sir? I want to ground up one in my mouth and spit it on her, and the other one I want to dump on her while she's on the
Jeez.
ground.
Goodness, I just want to eat them and just freak her out. I don't want to actually put her in anaphylactic shock.
Well, some people be saying they got allergies. They ain't
You're
real.
like, I just want to ground them up, hold her on the ground, and just pour them into her mouth. How you like it, Karen? How you like it?
Leah, not Karen.
Yeah.
Hey, if you hear our podcast, I don't really want to do that to you, but also, don't be such a bitch.
What?
Don't pretend you're going to die from, breathing something next to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Like, and I get allergies are like really
That's
bad.
like-
Like, if
that's
you
like-
go to a restaurant, you need to like tell them.
That's like when a motherfucker says to you, "Don't smoke that weed around me. I've got a drug test. I can't get secondhand high." That's not a goddamn thing. You're not gonna fucking fail your drug test because I'm smoking weed one room away from you.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
exactly. You're jealous, bitch.
Yeah, you want to get high and you don't want to see it. Just say that. Just say that. Sorry you got a drug test. You make better life choices or worse ones. I don't know what to say.
Don't get caught.
Yeah. Be good or be good at it. R.I.P. Dan Rulo.
That's all there is to it. I think that's all there is to the show, too.
Yeah, man. That's all there is to it. And that's all there is to the weekend rundown this episode.
Yep.
I don't know what episode this is, but I feel like we've been doing this now for quite a while.
It's definitely episode a lot.
We're in the teens now? Did we just hit the teens?
Oh, I don't think we just hit the teens. We had to hit the teens a couple episodes ago.
I don't think so. I think the last one was 12, maybe 13. If we hit the teens, it was
12's
last
preteens.
week. Yeah, preteens don't count. It makes you feel you're making an argument the same way that a pre-teenager makes an argument that he's
I do what I
teenager.
can. I do what I can to keep the show consistent with its age.
All right, well, we all appreciate that. And hey, me and Daniel, I don't think we say this enough, but we appreciate you guys for listening.
Yep,
So
we appreciate each and every one of you.
yeah, thanks for joining in for this episode of the Weekend Rundown. I've been your host, Drew.
And I'm Daniel, and thanks again for joining us, and we hope you decide to come on back next week.
Yeah, share our post to all your friends.
Take care, guys.
A rich man's world. A rich man's world.